Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And oh, my brothers and sisters, do I have something for you today. This is going to start your day off just peachy. So as you guys know, one of the things that is kind of my pet peeve is when the media will frame what comes from the gun violence archive as fact and truth, but never tell you the details. Well, right now, in one of their articles, they actually told you the details, and we're going to break it down, and it's going to show you some pretty incredible things. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, and make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. With that out of the way, my brothers and sisters, one of the things about manipulation and propaganda is you have to consistently say the exact same message all the time, on point, never ending. And when they slip up a little bit and they tell you the true reality of what they're actually trying to propagandize you with, it kind of breaks the narrative. So the Gun Violence Archive is a leftist source. This is something that was founded by Slate.com, very far left. The entire point here is to provide information to support gun control and delete information that does not support gun control, i.e. get rid of the CDC posting defensive uses stats for firearms. That was part of the entire shenanigan we were dealing with. But now, let me just show you what ABC News let slip through the gates, because while they're framing this in a certain way, let me show you the reality. So here we go. Of course, everything is linked to verify what I'm showing you. U.S. surpasses 400 mass shootings so far in 2023, National Gun Violence website. At least 81 people have been killed in 65 mass shootings in July alone. Immediate question, do you remember 65 mass shootings in July alone? No, you do not, because they did not exist. They don't tell you the criminal background. They don't tell you the circumstances. They just tell you mass shooting, so take all your rights. All right, so now, as we get into this, you have to be a special level of special to be propagating the fact that there's more mass shootings and more violence and guns need to be taken away in the article, and then your gun violence tracker stats in the exact same article contradict your argument. Here you go. Check this out. Again, I'm just showing you what's as a infographic. This is the gun violence tracker for the 2023 year, the entire year. You notice anything unique about that whole deaths and injury thing? Yeah, it's plummeting. In fact, it's plummeting so much so that it's gone almost at a downward trajectory angle. But this article is about mass shootings being on the rise. How can these two things be the same? All right, now I'm going to show you the 5-year one. Again, this is all on that same website. Again, on a 5-year trend, because the first one was a year. Well, now it's a 5-year trend. That looks like it's a historical low, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It's almost like there was an extraneous factor, like the pandemic, that caused people to snap and increase violence across the board, which we have consistently and repeatedly seen throughout human history. But they aren't going to tell you that. But anyway, ignore the infographic on the screen. Let's just continue and go down some of the examples. I'm going to do these quickly, but this is what they're using to propagate the need for a Second Amendment infringement and no guns. This is the mass shootings, okay? It shows the example of where the manipulation is. The Houston incident was among 6 mass shootings that occurred on Saturday and early Sunday in cities across the nation, according to the Gun Violence Archive, which defines a mass shooting as a single event with 4 or more victims either injured or killed. With little over 6 months still to go in the year, the number of mass shootings is up 9% from 365 mass shootings that occurred as of this time, 2022, a year of which total 647 mass shootings unfolded, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Again, 647. You remember that? Yeah, no. Now, let me show you some of the examples. The Houston shooting happened just after 1 a.m. on Saturday at Margaret Jenkins Park in the southern part of the city as a birthday was ending. Police and witnesses said, quote, killed in a shooting was a 21-year-old woman identified by her family as Autumn Valian. Valian's mother told ABC News in Houston the shooting occurred as she and her daughter were attempting to leave the party when at least 2 people engaged in an argument, pulled guns, and started shooting. So that's 2 individuals. It's not a mass shooting. That's bystanders. Early Sunday, 4 people were shot in Seattle at an illegal street racing event, according to police. According to the Gun Violence Archive, it's the 401st mass shooting this year. No arrests were immediately announced. So, illegal street racing. In Wade, North Carolina, about 12 miles northeast of Fayetteville, 1 person was killed and 3 others were shot around 1 p.m. on Saturday during what police described as a physical disturbance at a gas station. No arrests were announced. So now we've got a fight and multiple people started shooting. In Chicago, a 40-year-old man was killed and 3 other men were wounded during a shooting that occurred at 12:13 a.m. on Saturday, according to the Chicago Police Department. The victims were standing on a sidewalk when 2 men walked up and opened fire. Police said no arrests were announced. Are you catching a theme right now? Multiple shooters, all around beefs and violence and all existing crime, not a traditional mass shooting, to which they are counting 697 last year. Let's continue. I got a couple more. Saturday's shooting was the 3rd mass shooting in Chicago this month, according to the Gun Violence Archive. On July 5th, a man was killed and 5 other people wounded when gunfire broke out at a 4th of July gathering outside a residence in the Inglewood neighborhood, police say. On July 16th, 1 person was killed and 4 others were wounded in a drive-by shooting in Chicago's Garfield Park neighborhood. Again, drive-by shooting. Does that sound like a mass shooting or gang violence? Let's continue. On July 2nd, a 4th of July weekend block party ended in a mass shooting that left 2 people dead and 28 injured in Brooklyn Homes neighborhood. This is in Baltimore. A 17-year-old boy suspected of being one of multiple shooters of the incident was arrested. So an underage who can't even own a firearm legally, who's a minor. So we've got multiple instances of fights breaking out, shots being exchanged. We have drive-by shootings. We have minors who should not legally be able to have a firearm. And we have altercations that are resulting in firing. Do these all sound like mass shootings? No. These are criminal acts. These are acts of violence. This is existing acts of criminal violence. This is not a mass shooting, which is why they can sit there and say, we've had 400 mass shootings this year, because the Gun Violence Archive does not report the cause and the context. It only reports how many people were hit. So in a drive-by scenario, you get 10 people hit. That's a mass shooting. This is how dumb this is. But the media is lining up to parrot these points. They use Gun Violence Archive as gospel. We've disseminated and destroyed it every single time they do this for 2 years running. This is a manipulation and a propaganda push. All the while, they've got facts that are showing you on infographics between the segments of the article, showing you a massive decline on a 5-year trend. This is a good example for you to send out for propaganda. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.